Welcome, Gromies. This is Dead Skull Genetics, Season 1, Episode number 4 of our Seed to Harvest series, guys. Yo, so let's dig on in. What we're going to go over today is, I don't know how else to put it. People fail with this a lot. And I wouldn't say that it's due to a misunderstanding. It's due to a lack of first-hand experience. And if for any of you newer growers here, I'd like to take this moment to sit there and say, this should help guide you. I wouldn't say that this is the end-all be-all, but it is a good guidance, very good guidance. So before you even get to this stage here with the plants in their final home, you're starting off in a little pot, maybe a little seedling tray, whichever you decide that is going to work best for you. There's no real wrong answer. You just don't want to start in a very, very large pot unless you are fairly good at starting seeds directly in soil and you understand the little subtle nuances. It's easier to make your environment smaller. The smaller your environment, the easier it is to control. And that's what we're trying to do. We're indoors, we're trying to control the environment and give everything the best chance it has inside. With that being said, watering practices. This is going to be the biggest issue all new growers have. I think I'd like to call all new growers morons. Now, it's not spelled the way you think. It sounds the way you think, but it's not what you think it is. But all you new guys, everybody's done it, including me. I was a moron once too. It's okay. It's absolutely okay. But we're all morons at some point in time. It's not growing fast enough. Let's pour some more water on. Oh, it got a little yellow. Must need nutrients. Let's pour some more on. You see how it is? You are a moron, because at the end of the day, anything that happens to it, you're going to be like, I need to put more on. It needs more on. So everybody's a moron in the very beginning. And you know, you'll have some other people, they put it a little bit nicer. They go, you're drowning it with love. And it's in a literal sense. You are literally making it rain every single day. At any point in time, in nature, outside, has it rained every day? I mean, literally, has it rained every single day? No. You might have a few days in a row where something rains, and that is what will kill off a seedling outside, is if it's not made to see 2-3 days worth of rain straight in your area. That will kill seeds off. You'll damp the roots off. It's very easy to do. But I'm going to try to prevent you guys from being morons. And I'm going to give you guys the best tools in my arsenal to you. So it's my gift to you guys. So let's go ahead and figure this one out very, very simplistically, okay? You take your volume of soil. I don't care what it is. Just a vessel of soil that you're going to plant in. It's got some drainage holes in it so it doesn't sit in water, right? And you're going to fill this up with soil. And then you can do this in one of two ways. You can use your senses, which is going to be your sense of touch. You're going to fill this up with soil. You're going to pick it up. You're going to feel how light it is with dry soil. And then you're going to put water on it. And you're going to let it drip out the bottom. And once it stops dripping, pick up the pot once again. That's fully saturated. That's as much water as it could possibly hold on to. You're not allowed to water it until it's half that weight. Now, this is why I say you can do this one of two ways. You got a kitchen scale. You're horrible with telling if something's 50%. You got a busy life. I have too much of a life. I will never remember what half this weight was. Are you kidding me? And I smoked. I had a safety meeting. My safety meetings make me forget. So, if you can't remember 50% of the weight, which is fine, I'm not ripping on you, I'm just kind of making light of the joke. But you can get yourself a little kitchen scale and weigh it when you watered it in, and when it's half the weight, then you're allowed to water it again. That's easy when you're in a small little container like this. Super easy. It's easy to drown it, and it's easy to maintain. This is easy. Why? Because I can pick it up, I can tell. Here, I will show you another way. So, let me go over here. I've got my little my lettuce here, right? It's in this big old tray. Look, they're all super green. And I wait until this thing is half the weight. Once it's light, I water. Until it's light, I don't water. If I start watering too often, this thing will get yellow, sickly. It'll start trying to stretch out of the pot. Sound familiar, guys? Are you a moron? We all have done it, me included. I'll tell you that right now. I have done this too. So you're not in this club all by yourself. You're gonna join us, is what it is that you've joined the ranks of being a moron. If you can get it here, you'll have a little bit of an understanding of how to do it over here. This is supersized. So one thing you won't be able to do that you could do with this, that you can't do over here, I mean, unless you're a strong person and you got a good back and you're not in your 40s, 50s, 60s, you know, up in age, you're not going to pick these pots up. These are 15-gallon pots, 2 cubic feet worth of soil, or about 2 cubic feet. With water, you are not picking these pots up. You might be able to tilt it, no problem. You'll be able to tilt it, but you're not going to be able to pick it up there unless it's like really bone dry. But we got living soil here. We don't want to let it get that particularly dry. That's not what we're looking for. And you can still be a moron over here. But what's good news, great news for you guys, nobody will overwater in one watering. I don't care what you do. Nobody will overwater a single plant in one single watering. It's impossible. So, with that being stated, it takes multiple waterings in order to overwater your plant and kill it. Even in this setting. If I sat there and started watering this thing every 2 days, these plants would die. These plants are not pulling that kind of water. They don't pull water until they go into flower and they go into that stretch. Then they start pulling water. Right now, we're just maintaining, it's feeding, it's getting bigger, the roots are getting bigger, and as it's getting bigger, of course, the demand of water starts to increase too. But 15 gallons of soil, or a 15-gallon pot, 2 cubic yards of soil, carries a lot of moisture, especially in living soil with a lot of organics in there. Carries a ton of water. So, I'll tell you guys right now, it's been 8 days since I've watered. 8 days. I watered not last Sunday, but the Sunday before. Think about it. It's been 8 days since I've watered. These plants look amazing. I'm just saying. They're standing up. They're super green. I see no real major stressing issues on it. I had the light, when the CO2 level was a little higher, I turned the lights up, and then when the CO2 dropped, it started burning the leaf tips, so I had to turn the lights down a little bit. CO2, if you add CO2, you can add a little extra light to it, but not necessary. Not necessary. So in this configuration right now, I have a mushroom bag here. I'm getting about 600-700 parts per million of CO2. Where's my lights at? I've got a little meter here that I'm able to stick up underneath here to measure my output with my Spider Farmer SP4000 light. I'm getting about 430-ish ppfd. Oh shoot, I gotta sneeze. Sorry about that. Oh, that was a little sneezy. It's allergy season. Oh yeah, stuff be blooming. And but back to topic. I'm right around 430 ppfd. So when you're in flower, you want to be between 400 to 600 ppfd in flowers. 600 if you got the CO2 a little bit with it. So I would say between safely 400 to 500 ppfd, and you should be fine. So I'm running my light kit right around 20 inches above the top of the canopies, and which is keeping me somewhere right around 78-79 degrees at around 55% humidity, give or take, plus or minus 3%. So my environment is very nice. So my dry back on the soil hasn't been monstrously big. I've got cover crops in here. I have straw over the soil. So the soil is really slow to dry out. Plus, with all the organics, the worms, and all the good stuff that we've put in there, it holds on to moisture for a long time. So I've got a very good battery. And when you got a good battery, you don't have to charge it up very often. You just got to add a little bit of water here and there. You're good to go. So that's what I've been basically doing, is I've been just monitoring it. And I've been wondering, okay, when do I have to water this thing next, right? That's the biggest question. Okay, I've moved into these pots. What's my watering schedule? The short answer is there really is no watering, quote-unquote, schedule. That I think will be the biggest mistake most new growers will start to look at is, okay, how do I schedule this stuff so that I can, how can I put this? This way I can, schedule my life around this and have it all automated, make it nice and simple. There is no easy button with this. So I would say, for the short answer, you're going to be using your senses in order to be able to determine if you need to water this. Now, like I said, you're not going to pick these up unless they're bone dry. So if you're living soil, the trick is to not let it get bone dry. So we've got to have other tricks up our sleeve. One way You can buy a cheap soil moisture tester. Some of them are okay. Some of them are straight trash. Buyer beware. I would say it'd be easier if you're wanting to do the automation like that. Get a Pulse. Go to Pulse Grow. No sponsorship or anything like that. No affiliate link. They're just, it's what the commercial guys use. Good equipment that's tested out. They're a little pricey, but if you're trying to get good, accurate data, you're gonna pay for good equipment to be able to do those measurements. Otherwise, if you're like myself, baller on a budget, I know, baller on a budget, it happens. You got two options. Okay, two options. Super simple. You got two options. Now, option one. You're a super baller on a mega budget, means you have no budget. You can use your finger. As long as you don't have nerve damage and you can't feel anything, you can use your finger. And even then, I'll tell you, you can still use your finger even if your brain, even if you're numb from the brain down, you can still use your finger. You want to know why? Because you're going to stick your finger in there, and your index finger is anywhere going to be between 2 to 3 inches. If your tip of your index finger has a little bit of mud on it, you don't need to water. If it comes out clean, like dusty almost, time to water it. Super simple, right? Or you can go the extra mile, because I don't want to put finger-sized holes in the dirt and do that. No. By the time you're done, with your grow, you're going to have 100 finger divots in your soil. It'll look really kind of funny. Ask me how I know. It's kind of funny to look at. But you can get a shish kebab skewer. Find a friend's mom, your mom, somebody that has a shish kebab skewer stick. I'm sure somebody you know, or they're super cheap at the store. It's a wooden stick. And then take your shish kebab skewer, measure 6 inches. Why 6 inches? 6 inches is about halfway down into the depths of the pot. So I'm catching the moisture halfway into the pot. I'm not so worried if the bottom of the pot stays a lot more moist. Why? Great question. For living soil, I don't mind if the bottom portion stays a little soggier, a little longer. I want to know if the top half is getting dry or not. Because if the top half's getting dry, that means my feeder roots that are more towards the surface are also dry, and they need a little bit of moisture to keep thriving. So we want to get that halfway mark to where the stick doesn't look wet and it doesn't have mud smears on it. How do you do that? Well, you put a little mark on there of some sort. Don't cut the thing. Leave it long. So you got a handle. Trust me, I know things. Put your mark down into the soil level where it's just flush with the soil. Let it sit there for 5-10 seconds. It doesn't have to be in there for an hour. Just a few seconds, and then pull it out. Straight up, right? And we're going to see how much mud we have going how far up. Like I said, if it's in the first 3 inches and it's pretty dry in the first 3 inches, you can technically get away with watering it. Because I want a little deeper of a dry in this pot. I'm going to go for 6 inches, where it can look wet, but I don't want it to be like mud clumping. So let's go ahead. It's been 8 days. Well, let's check our pots here real fast. And how do I do this? Like this pot here, right? Our leaves are expanded all the way around to the edge of the pot. I want to take this, and I want to do this about 6 inches from the very center of the plant. So from the center of the plant, my 6 inches, you can just touch it and then drop it right down. So that's right about here. Bring it right down to soil depth. And then you just sit there and wait for a few seconds, you know. You can count, you can talk, you can daydream for a moment. I don't care what you do, you just gotta leave it in there for a few seconds, right? And then, when it's been in there for a few seconds, pull it straight up out, and then you take a look. So I got a little bit of mud smearing. So I've got about, let's go ahead and grab a measuring tape, and let's see about how many inches down. So we are about 2 1/4 inches down of dry depth. So these pots are pretty well moist still. It's been 8 days. I don't have to water. Guess what? I'm not a moron. Woo! So we're just trying to prevent ourselves from overwatering, giving them a nice environment. You don't need to water it for the microbes. Don't get upset about the microbes. We're letting stuff dry. This is what nature would do anyway. If a microbe gets too dry, it'll go into a state of dormancy if it's in the right environment. And then as soon as it gets wet again, it reactivates. Nature is amazing. Don't work against it. Work with it. Understand what nature does outside and mimic it indoors. That's all we're doing. Light, wind, fresh air, moisture in the air, moisture in the soil. You have those ingredients, you're good to go. Are you going to make a cannabis award-winning breed? No, but you're going to have good, viable smoke. And at the end of the day, that's what we're wanting to do, make good, clean medicine for ourselves. So with this, I'm going to leave it alone. There's nothing for me to do other than do maybe some training on this, where I have some branches here that are starting to come on up. And I will take the bigger fan leaves and I'll bend them out of the way so that they can get some sunlight, get some sunnies on those branches. And once the branches get sun, a little bit of light energy, oh my God, they're off to the races. They shoot up like gangbusters. So amazing stuff here. So just make sure that, you know, don't overwater your stuff. Don't over stress what you're doing. If you're in a small pot, take measurements. That measuring, the weight is your friend. In the big pots, get a wooden stick that can reach halfway down into your pot. That'll help you with not overwatering. It'll be the biggest game changer for you. I guarantee it. So with that being said, guys, thank you everybody for being here. I gotta be a little bit more regular with this. I know. I'll get this video uploaded either today or tomorrow, because today's Monday. I'll probably get it uploaded tomorrow. So it'll be Tuesday when you're seeing this. So yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, and of course, may your thumbs always be green. I'll see you on the next one.